Are you ready for combat night?
In studio with undefeated, the one, the only El Pantero, David Macias. He came to us with a record of 5-0 as an amateur. He was undefeated. He did not take any fights with us as an amateur, but as a pro now he's 3-0, is undefeated, and he's got another fight coming up in 2 weeks.
3 weeks. Yeah. Thanks so much, man. Super stoked to be here. Again, it was one of those days where just like I'm gonna work on my day off to further what we got going on, So yeah, I'm just happy to be here. I'm stoked. Yeah. I had one pro fight, and then you were my second pro fight was combat night, and I kind of just fell in love automatically. Like I've told you this in person before, but there's kind of a sweetness to being able to walk into weigh-ins, hop on a scale immediately, rehydrate, and then the next day when you fight, you show up to the venue and you're not waiting there for 5 hours. Like you're getting up in 2 hours, which is incredible. So I was you kind of had me hooked just from the beginning. I like the way Comment does, and we're growing something. That was a goal.
Yeah, so. I appreciate that, man. I always say it's kind of like you don't know what you don't know, and for fighters, that's kind of what has always been the norm. Is you have to go to weigh-ins, you wait there for hours, and then you finally get on a scale, and you wait till everyone's there. There's always some asshole that shows up 2-3 hours late. We have a really good relationship with the state, and they kind of allow us to push things along and make things happen. The early weigh-ins, and also as soon as you guys get there, being able to weigh in, not waiting on a physical. Again, we fought, and we kind of we knew the things we didn't like, and so since we started, we've just been fighting to chip away at those things and kind of make it a little better experience for you guys. I don't hide behind the fact or shy away from the fact that we don't have $2,000, $3,000 paydays. It's nothing crazy like that, but we're going to treat you like gold.
Yeah, man. I mean, you hooked it up with the snacks. You're giving people food, potassium, you're handing out defense soap, which you know how much staff can ruin a fight card or even just people's training camps. So no, I felt the love immediately. That's why I had to at least give back with some exposure. Oh man, fight for combat night. I've been telling you, I've been on my gym's ass, man. Fight for combat night. You get the reels, you get the footage. You also get training. You get early on regional pro training. This is how you do a media day, or this is how you say something funny on a mic. But I'll be honest, I've gotten lucky with my opponents because they were so willing to do something crazy that they spark, which I'm thankful for, in the same, because I'm pretty even keel.
I mean, yeah, you say that, but everything that you've been a part of, it pops off. So every time you fought for us, there's something that gets said or something that happens. You fought David Zellner, who's also kind of chill, even kill guy, and I don't know what it is, but he got up there in front of you. He started putting his hand on his face on your hands. Romello is Romello. He's crazy. He's always got some kind of antics up his sleeve, but you do a good job of kind of playing your role of the cool guy and just kind of staring through their soul.
Try, man. That's how I fight too. I just try to be I'm just cool, collected, never misstep, never slip up. It's kind of you think of the nickname Pantero. My friend gave it to me because he's like, you're like a panther. And he doesn't know freaking Spanish at all. It's not even the correct Spanish word for it. But you just never slipping up, always staying cool, staying in the zone. I try to embody that, as much as I can, but yeah, it's awesome. People are willing to do stuff, and maybe my presence does make them act out in certain ways, or maybe they feel like they have to bring something extra,
Yeah,
but I don't.
Well, man, I mean, and it's not just the weigh-ins though. It's the post-fight stuff. It's I just don't see as even killed, a guy who's stripping half naked into the cage, showing off your handiwork with odd socks. It's just funny to me. You're one of those few guys. There's literally a handful of these guys that are entertaining beforehand, they're entertaining during and after. So it's kind of easy. I think you fought with us twice now. I would say you probably had 3 or 4 viral moments.
That's cool. We have 2 reels. Well, you made them. So I can't take but I was a part of them. We have 2 reels that hit 1 million.
Yeah.
So
And
that's
I mean,
kind of cool.
you say I made it, but like you did the work that
Yeah,
actually
yeah,
made it
yeah.
be able to be made to begin with.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I'm excited to see where you go with us, because every time you fight, something exciting is happening during the fight, before the fight, after the fight. So I'm excited for Tallahassee. Before we get into that, I want to talk about that, because we're talking about your history first, because you fought this guy before.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, he was your second or third amateur fight?
He was my first MMA amateur fight.
Okay, did you have any kickboxing before him?
I had 2 kickboxing, one against a guy who was like 3-0. I unanimously decision beat him. He was wearing a giant boxing helmet. I think I would have finished him without it. And then my second was against it was just whatever. You know what I mean? It's one of those early on fights where like some guy walks in, he's like, yeah, I want to fight. Finished that guy in like the second round, almost the first round. He was my first amateur fight, MMA, not even a year into the sport. No experience really, and he had like 8 or 9 fights.
Okay.
Not a great record, but like 9 amateur fights is a lot of experience.
Yeah.
I walked in there with just like absolute confidence, and I literally just walked him around the cage for 2 rounds.
Okay.
I think in his mind, I'm super glad he took the fight. It's a great fight for me. And he's doing better as a pro, but I think in his mind, because it was a doctor stoppage, that it wasn't a legit win.
Okay. And
the issue with that is, as a fighter, when you are faced with adversity, and I've been there, you've seen all my fights. I've faced adversity early on, in fights. When you collapse to your knees in between rounds, you're going to raise some concerns from like the commission.
Mm-hmm.
And like falling to my knees in between rounds, if I'm able to walk, if I'm able to, make it back to my stool, like that's not in the game plan at all.
Okay.
So for him, I was very shocked. I told you I was very shocked he was going to take it, and no disrespect, but that kid who was fighting 3 years ago in his first MMA fight, like that kid no longer exists.
Yeah.
There's a different animal here.
You know? I think that's the case for both of you guys. I think both of you guys are really walking into, we watched Hunter obviously for a long time. Most of his fights were with us.
Yeah.
And like you said, he's done better as a pro.
Absolutely.
He's taken some really tough fights, and all of his fights are close. It's not like that he's just getting smashed out by guys. Good fights.
Yeah.
And I believe he's sitting at 3-2 right now.
3-2. Yeah.
Yeah. So I like the fact that you're willing to take on the guys with more experience, even as an amateur. You said you fought him as your first MMA fight. I'm excited. I mean, I'm really excited for this fight. We have a lot of really good fights in Tallahassee. But you fought in Tallahassee before. The energy up there.
Yeah. I got my spots. I know not to go to that Motel 6 anymore that I tried to stay in. Cutting less weight this time. I do appreciate the lightweight fight, just to keep the fights coming in, but also like keep my body healthy. But like I got my braid spot already. I know where I'm getting my hair done.
Where are you getting your hair done at?
I don't know. It's this honestly the best braid shop I've ever been to. There was like 15, 20 chairs. And like, if you've ever been to a braid shop, if you've ever gotten your beard braided or not.
No beard braids for me.
It's usually like a handful of chairs, a handful of braiders, and like you could wait there for hours.
Okay.
But like last time I fought in Tally for you guys, I popped in, she put me in a seat. She was like, gringo with long wavy hair, like that's easy money. So they braided me up and I was ready to go.
Okay, nice.
Yeah. So like I got the Tallahassee spots figured out,
Okay, good. A little more comfortable for you the second time around.
100%.
Cool.
Yeah.
You're not from Florida originally, right?
No, man. Cape Cod, Massachusetts, man.
Okay. How did you get to Florida? How did that happen?
I love this story. This story is just wild. Grew up in Martha's Vineyard. First thoughts on that, most people are like, oh, this kid's wealthy. This kid's no. Like working class. Mother was a bank teller my whole life. Like I probably made, nothing against my mother. She did an incredible job raising kids, but like I probably made more money than her at like 19 than she ever did her whole life, 20, which is bizarre. But she sacrificed a lot to let us live in such a beautiful place. And football player, small school, pretty crazy. Like the way I played football was a little bit like how I fight. It's just like head first.
Yeah, I could imagine.
Going for broke every play. You know, I had like a 22 tackle game, which is pretty crazy for a kid who weighs 160 like, on the field. 3 years of college in Boston on my own. I moved out of the house at 18. Very difficult time. Like definitely had to fall back on my older brother a few times. And then, you know, was doing my thing. I left school because I just felt comfortable with my design skills. I went to art school, Mass College of Arts, like the biggest liberal college, art college ever. But I like literally was just like, I don't need school. I'm really broke. I just need to start working and I'll figure out my path. And started working for a company I interned for already in lingerie. So I was like making women's lingerie on a professional level. At an 18-year-old and then again as a 22-year-old. COVID happened. Boston shut down. My job was keeping us working for a long time, even past when we were supposed to. And then the layoffs started coming wave by wave. And I was like one of the last ones hanging tough. Eventually got laid off. I was like, Boston was shut down. There's nothing going on. So hit up my cousin, Buffalo. Just drove to Buffalo, packed all my shit up, drove to Buffalo, and was just doing odds and ends manual labor with my cousin. I thought I was gonna like literally pick up a trade for the rest of my life. COVID's going on still. We're in Buffalo. I'm making coins, you know, just trying my best. And my father passed away. Now, growing up, never met my father. I talked to him on Facebook. I texted him. I called him one time. It was clear he was having some like personal issues when he reached out to me. So like that never happened. You know, the meetup never happened. But father passed away. There's a lot of, I've never faced a parent, you know, passing away, but there's a lot of stuff you got to do. You got to figure out the funeral, the estate. I didn't know my dad had a house at all. I didn't know he was doing as well as he kind of was. You know, he was struggling, but he has a beautiful house in Wesley Chapel. And we thought we were inheriting it. No, my dad was down bad. His house was being foreclosed. Mm-hmm. But because it was COVID, a year passed with no payments made, and he's still in the house. The bank hadn't yet to take it. So me and my half brothers, who I met at 18 and then again at like 20 something, you know, didn't have a serious relationship. Like we really just relied on each other, put all of our savings together and bought the house out of default. Okay. And it came out to like almost like a down payment. So it was cool. It was like we inherited something, but we did have to work and risk our savings for it. Yeah, so it was like a blessing but also it wasn't free. It wasn't handed to us completely. So that felt good. But yeah, we saved this house from being taken by the bank. We formed relationships with each other from that day on. So in Buffalo, backtrack. In Buffalo, I would train at WNY MMA, Western New York MMA. And I would see the pictures. They had like 2 or 3 guys, you know, make it to the UFC, maybe 1, maybe 2. Then they had a few Bellator guys. And like, I would always look at the posters, but like, I think I have to do this, you know, because as a kid, you could not keep me away from UFC. Mm-hmm. I was like watching on Spike. My mom was telling me to shut it off. You know, I'd be hitting last on the remote every time she left the room, last channel, you know? Yeah. And it's COVID. Your career gets turned upside down. Your life gets turned upside down. I'm like, am I going to live my rest of my life not trying to be this person? And I was like kind of good at WNY. Like I was doing good work against some of the guys. So fast forward, you know, all this stuff in my life changes and, you know, it's hard to commit to a gym when you don't have money. So, you know, whatever I left Buffalo. I actually left Buffalo on vacation with my buddy because we completed the job. I had a little money. I did some design work for a friend. We flew to my house in Tampa because I was paying for it monthly. We were all paying off the mortgage. Mm-hmm. My friend looked at me. He's like, "Are you sure you want to come back to Buffalo? Buffalo's gray 80% of the year. 80% of the year is gray. It's snowing. It's raining. You know, it was fun, but like, wasn't Tampa fun?" Yeah. So I'm in Tampa for a week, and I'm like, I'm not going back. Sorry, bro. Like, we're gonna have to figure something out, but I'm not going back. And he was like, no, you're making the right decision. So stay in my house. And immediately I'm bouncing. I'm doing odds and end jobs. Like I'm bouncing a little bit at some grimy nightclubs in Tampa, man. Oof, rough clubs. And I finally get the job with Odd Sox. So I kind of stray away from the bouncing a little bit. You know, I think I had like my last day and I was done. And I walk into this gym. I finally have money for a membership. I walk in this gym and I just see this guy who I recognized oddly at the front desk, in front of the front desk, but talking to the front desk guy. And I walk in, I'm like, are you Billy Q? And he's like, yeah. And I'm like, I think I just trained at your gym for like 4 months. And he was like, in Buffalo? I was like, yeah. He was like, no way. So for the next like 3 months training under Billy Q, I was like the Buffalo kid, but I was like, no, Billy, I'm not actually from Buffalo. But yeah, man, that's like my origin. It's just small town, Boston City for 3 years, and then COVID, and then a huge personal decision. Just go for it, jump off, like
Nice.
go for it. So not to over talk about that.
No, that's good that we're here to hear about your story, man. That's
man.
cool.
So it's just like, you know how like the wind blows and it takes you places. I feel like it was that, but it was also not letting myself get to a certain age where, oh man, I should have done this.
How old were you whenever you moved?
I think I was I want to say I was like 23, 24.
Okay.
I think I had my first fight at like 24, 25.
Okay.
So I was like a little bit late.
Yeah.
You know, but I tell everyone this, like, I'm actually thankful because you know, this sport comes with damage, it comes with hard times, injuries, and I avoided my brain development years of really any contact besides high school football and college rugby. I did play college rugby in Boston.
Those both
the worst.
Seem like the worst kind of head trauma you can get.
They are.
Okay, rugby and football.
Rugby actually a little bit better than football. Football is the worst thing for your brain, 100%. So, but yeah, I felt like I didn't get smashed up as a 20-year-old trying to learn MMA.
Yeah.
19, 18. There's some really talented kids out there, 19, 18, but your brain is developing so much. And I will be honest, I only played 2 years of college rugby because I was just like struggling with money. But I was like an all-star in Boston. My coach was trying to get me to try out for a pro team in Boston.
Yeah.
Rugby's not bringing in the paychecks, so I was like not really interested in that. And but yeah, you're right. There's definitely some head trauma, but football is by far the worst.
Oh, for sure.
By far.
What'd you drive before the Tesla?
A 2013 Chevy Spark.
Oh man. Okay, the come up is real.
Little rice burner. Yeah.
It's funny. I'm actually drawing a lot of parallels with like my life and myself in MMA from I moved to Tallahassee when I was like 23 or 24.
From where?
From Orlando, from Polk County.
Okay.
So I'm from Polk County, the spot in between Tampa and Orlando that no one wants to go to. But different reasons, a lot of thug friends. And I just knew that if I stayed around, I was going to end up dead in jail, whatever. I go to Tallahassee, find MMA. I was broke as shit. I was like struggling to make my way. I was driving a 1996 Hyundai, something with like the hood tied down with a judo belt.
Fire.
People at the gym, when I signed up for a jiu-jitsu gym, could like hear me. They're like, "Oh, we can hear you from a mile away."
Wow.
Because like as I'm going. But yeah, like I said, a lot of similar parallels. I bought a house when I was 18, kind of on accident.
That's incredible, though.
I had money, and from just I used to raise like steers and cow for FFA and sell them at auction and stuff.
Wow.
And I was like, someone told me you should buy a house with your money. And I was like, all right.
Because Polk County's agricultural land, right?
Yeah, a lot of it is.
Wow.
So yeah, a lot of like similarities as far as like being broke as shit. I grew up in a trailer park. My mom chose to give us experiences over a nice place to live. Same. She busted her ass.
Yeah.
But instead of a nice place to live, she was like, no, we're going to Disney once a month.
Wow, man. I mean, there's such a beauty to that. Like on the flip side of living in this beautiful place, you just grow up like that mentality. And I don't want to bring out liberal or woke, but like I literally had the mentality of like, this is not fair. The government owes me like at least an equal starting position. And like, you know, going to college, College actually straightened me out a little bit.
That's funny. College messes up a lot of people, I think.
Yeah, but that's because the college life at Mass Art was too extreme. I'll be honest. I'm not going to dive into that because I'm still in touch with some of the people there. But like the environment, they owe me this. I deserve this. I'm the victim attitude. It's demoralizing and it gets you nowhere. So hearing your stories, like we literally grow up raising cattle, bulls, and I eventually earned enough money at 18 to buy my own house. Like that's to me such a beautiful thing. Cause now don't get it wrong. I worked every summer since I was 14, and then as soon as I moved out of the house, I was working an internship in northern Massachusetts. But like I don't know, there's something cool about that. Like that's really from the mud.
Well, like I said, I mean, same thing for you. You had to work for everything. You didn't get gifted the house. You had to actually work to get that house. And I mean, just like your mom worked a lot, she probably didn't have a lot of time to teach you how to like finances or teach you how to like do the things you really need to know. Same with me. My mom worked all the time. My dad was always gone. He was a farmer.
Yeah.
But yeah, so it's kind of cool to talk to another guy that is figuring it out and is doing well, because I know a lot of guys that are, in their 30s that are just leaning back on this fight career, and they're just so focused on like, this is where I'm going to make it. Great attitude to have. I'm not saying you shouldn't, like, you should be all in for that, but you got to have side quest.
Yeah, man. I'll talk on to this. I don't want to lose track, but oh man, shoot, I'm losing track. I will say,
being all in, side quest.
Before that, what do we talk
from
about?
The mud coming up, the struggle.
Yeah, it's just that to round it off, it's just that mentality of like thinking people owe you stuff, man. Oh, I have I'm a single parent kid, pushing myself through to college. Like there's much worse. Every day I wake up, I think there's much worse than what I'm going through right now.
Yeah.
But yeah, man, it's cool. Like I feel so gifted. I don't know if this is because I had some experience before I started MMA, but like I have an exit strategy. I know exactly what I want to be doing after my fighting days are over. I'm a realist, man. Like I'm 28. I'm doing what I have to do to get to where I want to go now. But after that, 28 to like 38 that's the meat.
Yeah.
Thank God, like my mom blessed me with so many skills. I'll be honest, I can talk to a wall. I can talk to a stranger. I can talk to just about anybody. It came from my mom. I have like artistic skills. I'm like, I designed for Odd Socks.
Yeah.
So I went to Mass College of Art. I basically begged them to let me in because I didn't have great grades. I had like 1 year of good grades in high school. But like everything I've done in life is like through my own intuition, and like the skills that I was given, like just utilizing to the most.
Yeah.
And yeah, man, like I know exactly I want to be after fighting. Like I want to be an old, like chipped up dude and like who just has side quest hobbies. Like I like making music. I like making art. I like making clothing. I'm trained to make clothing. Like I know it through and through. So
why don't you make some reels of you while you're designing? I know you design your fight shorts. Why don't you like do a time lapse of you designing your fight shorts? Or there's a really good artist. I don't know what his name, but he just did a shirt for Phil Rowe where he had the outline and he had a separate layer. So he put the outline layer over top the final design.
Cool.
And then he like took an eraser tool and just went through and erased it so you could see the final design at the end. But I mean, with you being an artist, I think it's important to kind of, that's what social media is, right? Letting people know who you are and what you do. But there's some really cool stuff with the artist side that I would like to see, as a fan.
I think you're right. I thought about like, oh man, I should be live streaming when I design because I can just chat to people all day while I'm designing. The issue is like, what am I allowed to, working for companies? Like, I don't know what I'm allowed to show people because, things have to be approved by, if I'm using a license, like if I'm making a UFC boxer, like I got to make a ton of UFC boxers. If I'm making a Pepsi design, like they all have to be approved. That's the crappy part about like big business,
corporate.
Like, you have to get things approved. But so sometimes I'm like, yeah, maybe the live stream won't work. But yeah, I definitely will have to make some reels of like showing the skills outside of fighting.
Yeah.
But I tell all the young, we have like some really talented 14, 15-year-old fighters at Gracie Pack.
Mhm.
Like they're gonna
there's a bunch of crazy teams right now. Like across, if they're part of a team like Gracie Pack, or they're part of a team like Fusion or the Jungle or ATT, it is insane to see how good some of these teenagers are. We've seen some fights at Combat Night where like, yo, these kids are whipping grown men.
We have a 14-year-old. I think he just turned 15 like a few days ago, and like he's injured like 3 people already.
Yeah, and they're little savages, man.
He's just a little savage, man. And but I tell him, we have like 3 young kids. I tell them, yeah, Gen Zers.
I mean,
what are they actually now?
I don't know. It might be a new generation. Ramsey, do you know about a new generation after Gen Z?
Gen Alpha.
Nah, bruh. You're not getting Gen Alpha. I don't. Nah. All right, you're good. You're good at fighting. I'll give you that. The ones that do it, there's a lot of you that don't. You're not getting Gen Alpha.
Kids are brain rot. They're all brain rot. No, man. I literally like have to tell these kids, I'm like, yo, because what's the biggest obstacle they're gonna face as a 14-year-old training MMA?
Thinking that they're Gen Alpha. I can't believe that's a thing. I gotta look that up later. I can't believe that.
That's good. That's good.
But Raina did say it. So Raina is in that generation.
That's fire.
She's like, I'm calling it right now. We're Gen Alpha.
I appreciate the youth so much. I feel like people look past the youth. They're like, oh, I'm not old enough to be like, inspiring youth. Man, they're gonna be taken care of. They're gonna be our children's spouse or our children's friends. You know what I mean? Like you have to invest in the youth around you. Like you just have to.
I mean, the kids around us, it's insane the type of experiences they're getting. Like you said, but you can communicate really well. I got my son will go have a conversation with a fighter that's 25 years old and no problem keeping up.
Yeah.
And then I feel like all of our friends are like that. We've done a really good job at. I don't know. You see a lot of stuff in the news about, like you said, generations being like, crap now, but it's just funny because like I remember my parents saying the same thing about video games rotting your brain, and just like I think every generation has, and I'm sure that it gets worse and worse with time because we have more stuff, more technology. But I think the generation's good. I know a lot of really good, like Timmy. You're right there in Gen Z still, but like Raina, there's so many kids that are young, but they're doing the right things now. I wish I had the focus that Tim has at 21. It's crazy.
No, man. I love Timmy, man. He's a specimen for sure. I just think it swells, right? You get a few bad generations. Like I think honestly, like a few years after me, it got really bad. Like because social media is telling them like, yo, this is what you have to be. You have to be pranking people in public, or you have to not care about your health. Like you have to go wild. You have to get as much attention. And then the few generations that see those kids grow up and like make mistakes, I learned everything from my brother's mistakes. I'll be the first one to say it. Like I love all my brothers, but like their mistakes are my learning opportunities, and I think it swells. It goes too far in that way, comes back in the other direction. But yeah, man, I tell all these kids, like, because the biggest obstacle they have for training MMA at 14 is there's a lot of time until their fighting age. So their biggest obstacle is burnout.
Yep, that's true.
That's where the creative, non-physical hobbies come in.
Yeah,
isn't that kind of insane?
Yeah, you can't make it your everything. Not at 14 or 13. Like, make it do it a lot, but have other things to do as well.
Absolutely. I mean, and if you were so obsessed with MMA and you couldn't take a break from it, learn a creative output that you can still involve MMA with. Learn how to edit highlight reels. Learn how to edit fighter posters, fighter poses. Pick up an art skill. I believe in creativity because, like, I tell them, like, you need something that when you're resting and recovering, you can focus on, you can lock in, because it's to tell a kid that he's going to be training from 14 to 24. That's 10 years of training. And like, these kids are banging it out with adults.
Yeah. It's crazy.
It was like, you do need something to focus on in tandem.
Yeah.
So I think they're taking notice into it.
I tell them a lot too, is like, it goes hand in hand with what you're saying. It kind of is what you're saying, but in simpler terms, it's like just recovery.
Yeah.
Like you cannot be in the gym every day of the week, sparring, training hard, rolling. Right now, you're good. You feel great. Like your body is, maybe you're only recovering halfway, but hey, halfway is better than my 100% recovery, because you have that. But you will regret it later in life, 100%. And you might even wear and tear your body down to a point where you don't really even get to compete like you should, because you're always going to be busting something or tearing something.
Yeah.
We have a few guys on our roster that I want to just be like, yo, man, pump the brakes. Like,
Wow.
I see the way they train, the way they do things, and it's like, yo, I get it. You can do it now, but can you do that in 5 years?
Yeah.
And if not, let's go ahead and figure out how to do that and not put all the damage or miles on your body now. You know, I've watched so many guys and the different mindsets they have, from Crow Cop, who didn't have sparring partners for a long time, to Donald Cerrone, who would put on bare shins and MMA gloves and go in there and just thug it out.
Crazy.
But yeah, the recovery is a big one. I see a lot of guys missing that, skipping that. But I think there's more technology and more science out there now that's telling guys what they should and shouldn't be doing.
Yeah, man.
We were guessing whenever I was coming up. We were still part of that generation that was like guessing. We were watching like the BJ Penns of the world and the Dean Thomases, and they didn't know what the fuck they were doing, but it worked for them. So it's like, yeah, it'll work for us.
Yeah, man. Talking about injuries, like I think we were looking to get our first booking with you.
Mm-hmm. Your shoulder.
And dude, my arm.
It was like 3 years ago.
No, man, it was like a year and a half ago or 2.
2 years. I'll take 2 years.
I don't even think it was 2 years. I think it was a year and a half ago, which is crazy. But yeah, dude, my arm, it was between my first fight and my second fight, right? I believe.
I think we were even trying to get you a fight before I know I saw you at a CFFC when James Gavra fought. It was a while ago, and that's whenever we were talking.
Oh yeah.
Billy Q was there. I think Colin Luberts fought Kinley St. Louis that night.
Yeah.
That's probably a year and a half ago. And we were still looking for you. We were looking for your fight.
Yeah.
I want to say it was February of 2024, probably.
Yes, sir.
And then we ended up finding someone, but then you ended up getting hurt.
Getting my bi-weekly round with Billy Q, because we're insane.
I could imagine.
And like he literally hits the most beautiful like wizard throw on me, and like my hand just hits a puddle of sweat.
Oh.
And in that moment, I feel the arm pop, the shoulder pop, and I was like, it's out, like for sure. And Q, I was like, you know, me just being a psychopath, I was just like, uh-oh. And Billy's like, oh, you talking shit? Like starts hammer fisting me. And I'm like, no, Billy, I think it's out. I think my shoulder's fucked. And he looks and he's like, oh my God. Like he was a mess. And I'm just looking at my arm, and this is kind of like going back to, you know, how you can be all in, you know, even if you're smart about it, how you can be all in. It was like, I looked at my arm, just like, do you really want to, like, so it wasn't, are you sure you want to do this? It was like, well, you said you want to be a fighter. This is what fighters deal with. It was like in that moment, I was like, this is what you want to deal with? And I was like, I answered myself in my head. I was like, yes. Yeah, absolutely. Literally held my arm the whole way to the hospital in the car. Let my half brother drive my Tesla there.
Yeah, but you haven't had any issues since. I feel like I haven't heard it.
It actually a few months ago. That's why I was actually brought it up. Is a few months ago. I felt it slip in and out, but not out all the way.
Okay, and you get those resistant bands going.
And I was like, this is what we're not going to do.
Yeah.
So I went to a rehab facility, and I made like my biggest purchase on my rehabilitation, my recovery.
Okay.
And you know, they got me on like collagen, they got me on just supplements that are legal for the sport and for the commission, and some exercises. And like, yo, it cost me, like, this is a lot to me. Because you know, I'm in a certain position right now. Like, this is a lot to me. Like, it's cost me like $500.
Yeah.
And like, I was like, all right, you want to be a professional, you want to be one of the best in the world, this is what you do. Yeah. You know, this is where you spend your money on.
Yeah. I tell guys all the time, there's a certain things that you need to spend your money on, outside of the obvious, like the medicals that are required.
Yeah. I mean, you have to.
And yo, just putting this on the record, and I'm giving you guys advice. I know we're probably going to have like a couple hundred people watch this, but if you're a fighter, don't fake your blood work. Don't fake your eye exam. We have caught some guys and been like, yo, what are you doing? Yeah. If the state commission catches you, which has happened, I have some friends that have lost their licenses. You're committing fraud. So like, you got to invest in getting legit medicals. It's once a year. it's kind of like the proof that you are committed. Like I'm
Yeah.
willing to spend $150, $200 on my medicals to prove that I want to compete. Don't cheat that part. You don't want to get busted and get suspended for life. It's crazy.
Also, like coming from a fighter's perspective, I know you fought obviously a ton too. But like coming from a fighter right now, it is such a better feeling to have that shit done in January and just be like, yo, Rich, you still got my paperwork? And he's like, absolutely, it's saved right here, or it's in our last email. That feeling is so good.
Yep.
Compared to, I have 3 weeks left. I got to go schedule this shit right now. I got to go pay for it. Like camp, work, relationships, animal. For me, I guess I'm an animal dad now.
Yeah.
That's like taking over my life for some reason. But like just knowing your stuff's already in.
Yeah, it's crazy how many people wait until fight week.
It's terrible. I used to be that guy.
It's so crazy to me. And again, I used to be this guy too, but with diets and with blood work and medicals and contracts, it's like, yo, just knock it out as soon as you get it. It makes your life easier. It makes our life easier. Knowing the stuff's done and you don't have to wait till the last minute, but especially the medicals. But I tell guys all the time, the stuff that I would invest in and that I wish I had invested in sooner is a good cup, like a diamond cup. For me, diamond cup was perfect. I also say invest in a good mouthpiece. Like, you only get, after these teeth, we're all done. You have to get implants and stuff fixed if your teeth are messed up. So get a nice fitted mouthpiece, whether that's like an impact mouth guard or I went to a local dentist and had them like hand make me a mouthpiece. It was great. I went in, they molded it. It's in Jacksonville. And then they made me a mouthpiece. I came back 5 hours later and I picked it up. It was a couple $100, but it protected my teeth. And these were things that I was buying whenever I was a broke, driving a Hyundai Elantra fighter, So mouthpiece and cup, it's like, you got to have those two things.
That's my next big fight purchase is mouth guard. My issue is I lose them every time.
I do too.
I lose them way too much, so I definitely got to figure out how to get like 3 of them and like keep them in rotation. Well, I think the cup is huge, man.
Yeah, I think once you spend the money though, that is the initiative to like, I don't want to lose this.
True.
Because I've spent the money on this now. Yeah. I used to never keep mine in like a little mouthpiece holder. Like now I keep it in the holder and I keep it in the same zipper and.
Got it.
Yeah, it's important. I mean, I can't tell you how many times I showed up to sparring without a mouthpiece and I would like wet paper towel and put it in my mouth as a young fighter. I did some crazy stupid stuff.
Definitely did that maybe once or twice. It always turns out bad though.
Yeah, it's not smart. I mean,
like chipping your teeth.
Yeah.
Or getting rocked by the kid you never get rocked by.
Yeah. Or it's like the day where I play, I don't need a cup on. And then I'm on the sidelines, like holding myself like, oh, why didn't I wear my cup?
I don't play about the cup no more. It's just, you win grappling positions because you had a cup. B, someone kicks you in the groin and they're, oh, sorry. I'm like, we're good, bro. You just hurt your shin or your foot. I've had some people kick my metal cup and like hurt their toe. And I was like, metal cups are good.
Yeah.
And there's some cheap ones, like Valley Sport has some really cheap ones.
No.
And I've had mine for like 2 years now.
Yeah, man, but the diamond cup is the best fit for me. I feel like I've tried all the other cups.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, it's really good. I recommend it to everybody. It's like the whole jock strap system they have is just, it's solid.
It's not like traditional Muay Thai where it goes up your ass.
No. It's like a jock strap behind your butt and across.
I have a similar one, yeah.
Much better than a string going up your ass for the tie.
I'm gonna have to try.
Comments. Will you guys touch on just like when you first start getting training and like how the funds come through, or like if you're short on funds training, like what that experience is like?
Yeah, we can probably both speak on that, but go ahead.
You're gonna hate my answer.
In the comments, we got some comments asking about the training, the expenses, how you figure it out, being a young fighter and being broke.
Honestly, man, it sucks, and I hate to say it, but work and life comes first. You can't train, you can't pay your gym without a decent, stable job, and you have to be like killing it at your job.
Or a girlfriend that has a lot of money.
I've heard this method. I've yet to try it out.
I don't think you should. I don't think anyone should rely on somebody else for I mean, it depends, if it's one of those situations where it's the situation is very obvious and like that's what we're doing. You're grinding hard because you're in the UFC, different story. If you're just starting, you should be doing what he's doing. You should figure out your life first.
It sucks to say, and I actually have a few friends from Fusion who like are just now getting around to it, but like we talk because I always offer like conversation, especially to my buddies that I get to cross train with, and like they'll update me on like them getting their job that they know is going to take care of them,
Yeah.
and how much more they can focus on fighting because they have a steady job that pays them well, et cetera, et cetera. If you're struggling to find out where your gym fee's coming, you're probably also struggling to focus on your improvements and your training.
Yeah.
So when I got with Odd Socks, this is a great segue, but when I got with Odd Socks, I literally wasn't making anything. Like I was on a temporary salary. It was like sink or swim.
Mm-hmm.
And I came in there with all my experience. I had great experience, and they were still like, we don't know. Your work was less digital. This is going to be more digital work, you know? And they were awesome, but like I had to earn my freaking way. And it wasn't always easy, man. I was pushing the Chevy Spark to 2013 Chevy Spark with no AC in Florida for 3 effing years.
Yeah.
And I'll even raise the bar a little bit. I actually could get sentimental about it and like a little choked up about it because like these were hard fucking weeks, man. And Wesley Chapel is 30 minutes away from Tampa. Tampa is another 30 something minutes away from Clearwater, where my job was. Now, these guys, if you go to your job and you want to do a job for them and you tell them that you do have goals and you're going to do your best to keep them, time allotted for your work, time allotted for your training, they're going to respect that. They're going to respect your goals. They're going to want to help you get there. But man, for like 3 or 4 years, I was driving from Wesley Chapel in the AM. Tampa traffic ain't no joke. Not like Orlando, but it's catching up to Clearwater. It's an hour and 45 minutes every day, one way. Then I would drive sometimes 50 minutes back to Tampa at 6 p.m., try to get there for the 7 p.m. class. Right? It's literally hard. Get geared up and train for 2 to 4 hours, depending on the day, with a run at the end of it. I was making a 3-hour, what's 145 times 2? 3 hours and 15 30 minutes, something like that.
3 hours and 30.
I was driving like between 3 hours and 30 minutes a day.
That's a lot.
A day. And this is five times a week. I was making this commute. And man, like I had a relationship in Tampa that like pretty much crashed and burned because of what I had going on. And just, me not being in a headspace mentally, me being a little just a little agitated when things were tough, just not being as respectful a guy as I should have been. And like those were the hardest time of my life.
Yeah. Well, I mean, a lot of people don't understand, like whenever they talk about the sacrifice and dedication it takes to making it in the sport, like that is the sacrifice and the dedication it takes. It's not dieting. Like that's like a non-negotiable, is like, you're going to have to diet, like if you want to be successful, but that's a whole, and you're also dieting while you're doing all this, which makes it even worse.
That's the next battle.
Yeah. So it's like, but I see these guys who are talking about they're struggling to make it or struggling to do things in the sport. And it's like, yo, I saw your story where you played video games for 4 hours or you're partying Friday and Saturday night. You're not locking in, if you were really that broke, you'd be working Friday and Saturday night. And I see that a lot. And I hate it because, in this sport, there really is only about, I would say 10% that make it to the top of the sport, and really can make a living out of this one day. So what are you doing to separate yourself and make yourself different than that 100%? Because that means 90% of people aren't going to do it, but driving 3.5 hours, that's what I'm doing. It's different. Working a full-time job and training, that's what I'm doing. It's different. I'm focusing on my diet. I'm allowing my personal relationships to fail because I only have so much in me, and I have to, if I'm going to make it, I know I have to do this. Very few guys are doing that. And the communication, that's a big thing too, is especially this younger generation, they don't communicate as well. So they're losing jobs or they're keeping jobs for half time. And they're like, why can't I figure it out? But it's like, there are so many jobs out there that will work with you as long as you tell them that in advance. When you go into a relationship, you want to be honest about whatever it is. And if your goal is, hey, I don't want to work here the rest of my life, but I want to be a fighter and I want to give you guys the best version of me every day that I'm here. I just need to work on my schedule some. What kind of business owner doesn't like that kind of communication? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But yeah, the struggle is real, and that's, like I said, that's the sacrifices you make. And some guys can't even sacrifice going out and doing drugs and partying every weekend.
And I will say I don't feel lucky because it is a decision I made early on in life, but like being a non-drinker, non-smoker is definitely something that is attributing to my hopefully being that 10%, you know?
Yeah.
Definitely I was definitely out and about. Don't get me
Yeah.
wrong. Like I was having fun with my friends, but not having to fight a hangover the next day and getting the training is like much better. But again, each level you raise, like, okay, 5-0 amateur, finish that up, you know, 1-0 pro, and I finally meet the woman I'm with now, who that's the one. That's it. You know, that is the person I'm going to accomplish these goals for and with, you know. So, but now once I get past the being an amateur champ or number one amateur ranked in Florida at lightweight, which is not really my weight class, you know, you have to start sacrificing more things now. I don't go out. I got the woman I looked for right next to me.
Yeah.
I got 2 dogs and a foster cat that we saved. I'm not going out at all, you know, like, you know, and your friends who want to see you succeed will understand.
Yeah.
They'll catch breakfast with you or they'll get a coffee in the morning with you. Those are the friends you want around. The ones who are like, bro, you lame. You don't want to go out. You don't want to party. You don't want to chase tail with us. Like, you don't want to smoke this blunt with me. You don't want to drink this Henny with me. Like, those are the people holding you back. And I'm not saying you should cut them out, but you should create space and hopefully inspire them one day.
Yeah.
Because I don't go out.
Yeah.
I don't go out no more.
I mean, you know, you can't expect to continue to raise your bar if you hang around on people who aren't raising theirs.
Bro, there's Muslim dudes praying to God and MMA gods right now.
Yeah, the
Dagestani
crew, and you know, I mean, that's everyone kind of puts them in the Dagestani, but the Middle Easterners,
the Georgians,
they have
there's
different 2
of them.
Yeah, they have a different mentality when it comes to this. And if you want to be at the top of the sport and you're not doing what they're doing, you can do everything they do and still tear your ACL or your rotator cuff and never have a career. You could do everything they do. So like, absolutely, there's so many things that could go wrong. So if you're not doing everything you possibly can to make it go right, good luck. It's just, there are freak athletes. And, you know, I think a lot of people, I hate that there's guys like Conor McGregor and John Jones at the top of the sport. Let me say this too. I like John Jones. I like Conor McGregor when they're fighting, when they're on point, all their things. I don't like the fact that they're such big role models in the sport. Yeah, no comment on them. And people think, you know, they can be the John Jones or they can be the Conor McGregor before they're there. I mean, you look at Conor McGregor's come up. It was not partying craziness. You know, super respectful in the Aldo press conference. I mean, it was a different guy. And, you know, I think a lot of guys think that they can live that lifestyle and then make it there. And it's like, no, look what happens whenever you make it there and you start living that lifestyle.
Bro, Connor in the early days is like, that's my friend kind of got back into him too. And like that, actually he's fighting soon. He's fighting John Morea or Joe Morea. Drew's fighting.
Oh, Drew Onega.
Yeah, Onega.
I'm over here thinking about, I'm like, Conor McGregor's not fighting again.
Sorry, no, not Conor. My buddy, he just got back into like, he's like posting like old Conor footage. Like, that was a dog.
Yeah.
And like, all right, the dieting I think is more than just sucky. I think it does affect your brain a little bit, and
for sure
it affects a lot of aspects of your life that you're not expecting. That's why like you gotta be
dialed in.
Yeah, you gotta be dialed in. Like that Conor McGregor was so special, man. Like you could tell he nourished his relationship with his wife, who was pretty much putting him through the MMA career. You can tell he was dedicated to the craft of just being your higher self, being your higher athlete, being your best fighter that you can be. And, you know, that's just the classic story of like becoming the image that you were portraying at the end.
Yep.
You know, it's kind of sad, but like those early dog days of Conor being the 45, like building his way up from a small ass town, small gym, you know, not that notable of a gym, and just like climbing his way, ripping through the 45ers, and then going, fuck it, let's rip through the 55ers too. Yeah. You know, it's like, it was very inspiring, but I can't stand seeing out of both of them, I'll be honest, I can't stand looking at them. It like
Yeah.
makes me sad because I was a John Jones fan, you know. I hope they can find the peace in their life because they don't have it right now.
Yeah, it's crazy. And but then you know that's also what makes these Georgians so special, is that they're also coming from like small towns. Like they're not.
Yeah.
It's crazy to have 2 Georgian champions. I think there was like 6 million, 7 million Georgians
It's
in the world,
insane.
and 2 of them are UFC champions.
And you look how close Dagestan is. It's just that square footage of land.
Yeah,
And
crazy.
there's so many, you know, high level or champion fighters coming out of there. And like, you'd be a fool not to learn from their dedication.
I forget who the Olympic wrestler was, but there was they were in Russia, I think, for the Olympics, and they were starting to get showers, and he saw another athlete taking a shower, whatever. He goes to take a shower and he turns it on and it's cold water. And he was like, oh shit, like he was freaking out about it. But he had just happened to watch the other guy turn on the shower and didn't flinch. And he was like, you know, as Americans, we expect comfort. And he's like, that's our biggest, like, that's our biggest downfall, period.
Wow.
It's just the fact that we expect comfort. I was expecting, you know, warm water, and here I am like a little girl jumping. And it's like, yeah, man,
crazy.
Those guys over there aren't expecting comfort, you know?
No, man. Yeah, like sometimes I do wonder, like, how do they push? You know, is there, you know, what injuries are they faced with?
But also their bodies are temples. You know, I think their religion helps them a lot because they're not treating their bodies poorly, and they're not putting poor fuel into their bodies. And so that's got to play a big role. The whole lifetime of good diet. You know, the typical American diet is.
That's probably what's keeping us back.
Yeah. I mean, I know growing up, I've changed my diet a lot, but when I started doing MMA, I was 180 pounds and I had no idea like what a good diet was. I thought like margarine was good. I thought it's crazy the things that I ate coming up. And, you know, I learned that through martial arts changed my whole life.
I'll be honest, Latin households, they don't have the best diet.
No, it was horrible. I mean, a lot of carbs and butter and margarine and, you know, all kinds of stuff. But it's been dope. Like for me, martial arts has really been like paved the pathway to, I mean, just a life I never could have imagined.
Man, like I said, single mom. We had the fruit snacks in the house, you know, the
cereals,
the cosmic brownie bars, the little Debbie's, and cereal, all that junk. And you do a number on your body and your brain all those years. And I eat on a whole nother level now. And like, again, another thing you have to invest your own money in, your hard-earned money, is like, you could buy a pack of sweet shit or a jar of ice cream, or you could pick up those yogurt Yasso bars that are 100 calories. And like that's what I end the night with, you know, just 1 or 2 of those, you know. And like,
and if you can't afford that, you can get some Greek yogurt and some honey. And I mean, there's everyone says to eat good is expensive, to enjoy your food is expensive, but it's like, man, now you just got to get creative.
You got to get creative. Man, the plain Chobanis that taste like paste. Like,
what's your favorite? Like, what's your go-to meal for in camp when you're trying to be like healthy, and then post-fight? What are those 2 meals looking like?
So, that's the beauty of it. And like now, you know, more than ever, I have to be locked in year round, which is extremely difficult to do. Especially at our gym, like we pride ourselves on pushing past our limits every day. So, you know, being on a restricted diet, like the injuries come around, the mood swings come around. It's very difficult to do. But I'll say my go-to before training, because you have to eat differently before training, after training. For sure. My before training, I have this thing called a struggle meal. And I'll take, like, depends on where I'm in camp. If I'm far outside of camp, I can do it with chuck burger. All right, that's the fatty burger. All right, that makes it taste the best, obviously. But if I'm getting closer down to camp, we do the lean beef, you know, probably 85 to 90% lean beef, rice, maybe broccoli, whatever, and a whole good amount of seasoning. And I literally just stir fry it in a pan, using the oils from the burger. And like, me and my girlfriend love that. Pink Himalayan salt. And then, you know, after training, steak or chicken. Okay. Kind of boring. But I do it in the air fryer. People don't know that you can cook a mean steak in the air fryer, which is interesting.
I have heard such things, but I've never tried it.
It's amazing.
I prefer cast iron.
Like, cast iron's the way to go. I don't have one right now. I have to get one, invest. But like, I'd much rather eat my own steak out of the air fryer than like meat market downtown Tampa. You know. It's
Yeah.
just
Well, also
way
the
it is.
price. I mean, you can eat 3 steaks or you can eat 1 steak.
Yeah, I'd
Yeah.
like 3 steaks.
Yeah.
And then after fight, man, like Ali took the helm from our last fight night, and like we just went to a fat ass steakhouse. And
Okay.
just like I had like $100 worth of steak on my plate, and we don't break. Like my cheat or dessert is like Magic Spoon cereal,
Mhm.
whole milk, protein
I
cereal.
can't stand protein syrup.
I love it. That's my bread and butter. If I'm really out of camp, I'll throw a big glob of peanut butter in there too. That's like dessert to me. It's heaven.
Okay. Well, that's good. I mean, that's again, I think nowadays more than ever, it's got to be a lifestyle. It's got to be an everyday thing.
Yeah.
The guys that are doing it as a hobby or just training during fight camp, getting real big. Again, there's going to be exceptions. They're going to be your Patty Pimblets.
I don't know how they do it.
You're not Patty Pimblet. Like that's something genetically speaking, that's he's got, there's always going to be these guys on the, like on the outskirts of like what's possible. You can't assume you're that guy. You're not the exception. You should always treat things like you're not the exception. And if I want to make weight, I have to live the lifestyle. If I want to be the best I can be, I have to train every day.
Yeah, for me, like the Patty thing is crazy because like I know he's struggling out of camp, and like I felt it. I felt it. Like there is a little bit of a eating disorder thing that comes with it. But man, imagine how much less stress he would have if he came into camp like 75-80% in shape.
Well, as he gets older, he's going to go up to 170, or he's going to fix what he does. I mean, I've worked with so many guys. I've seen a giant array of possibilities of how people cut weight and do things.
Yeah.
I mean, my best friend Jim Allers, when he was in the UFC, we went to before at Cage Warriors. He's actually supposed to fight Conor McGregor at one point, twice, and it fell apart both times. But Jim, right after a weigh-in, like getting off the scale, he would eat like a Reese's Big Cup.
What?
In the same way, and a guy ate a yellow pepper. You know, it's like, what the fuck is this?
Wow.
Like, this guy's eating a yellow pepper. This guy's eating a Reese's Big Cup. And then we go around town, and Jim just eats everything that he sees until he gets up to like 180, and he's like stuffed, can barely walk around. And the next day, he feels amazing. And I'm like, man, I can't believe you do that. But it worked for him for a long time. His whole career, he did it like that. He never really switched it up. And I think, again, different people have different genetics. They can do certain things.
Yeah.
And I was just very unlucky. I wasn't athletic, none of those things. But
yeah, I'm the skinniest person, definitely on my dad's side.
Yeah,
my dad's side is like giants. Like
Okay.
I have a 6'5" brother and a 6'3" brother, and they're both like well over 200. Or
Oh, man.
one of them's actually doing his thing. He's like down to 180. But like
Yeah.
I am the runt of the brut. I have a short mom. I'm like the runt of the brut and like the brute.
Well, that's probably why you're so tough too.
Yeah, and like, bro, keeping the weight off is challenging, man. Especially if you're improving in grappling. Like you
Yeah.
build muscle from grappling. You
Constantly pushing and pulling.
if you're trying to get better in the gym, like I am, like you're gonna gain weight, and it kind of sucks, but you're just fighting those balances.
Yeah.
You're fighting those balances. But yeah, I'm down for it, man. We got a lot of work to do at 45 after this 55 fight, and
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it, man. We're kind of coming to the end of this podcast
Hell yeah.
now. We always do something special for guys. We always hook people up. One of the things that we do that's a little different is we do work with a bunch of really cool brands. And some of these brands, they're just kind of giving us free gear so that we can hook up our fighters so they can look cool and dope and have nice shit.
yeah,
Super Rare is one of those companies. They love my content, my personal page, and then I started like to build a relationship with them. They originally hit me up just to send me out some stuff, and I was like, I mean, cool, I'll take some stuff, but like I really I don't need anything, but I got a lot of fighters at Combat Night that need stuff.
yeah.
And so now every event they send me out like a half a dozen pairs of gloves, bags, all kinds of stuff. So I just ask that you show them some love.
These are for me,
Yeah, those are for you.
dude. These are the only golden gloves I'm ever gonna get.
Yeah, they're dope,
Dang.
man, and they fit your hand. They're really good. They're good like
Wow.
bag mitt or not bag, like pad
Wow.
gloves.
It's great, man. My boxing gloves are falling apart. I really do appreciate this, man.
Well, perfect, man.
Wow.
But yeah, I'm sure you probably already follow them. They do a good job with their content and their gear.
Super rare. I'm gonna get at you guys. I appreciate it.
Yeah, they really
Wow.
do, man. They take care. For me, that's what I would, someone asked me like, hey man, I can give you $1,000 for a sponsorship, or I can give you $2,000 worth of gear you can give to the fighters. I'm like, yo, give me the gear.
It's amazing.
Like all the time. I mean, the defense. So, all these different companies, it's not always about the dollars. Sometimes, it's just about making the fighters feel a little bit better. I might not be able to give you $100 on my pocket, but it's like, now you don't have to spend $100 on a pair of gloves.
Bro,
so
$200, you know what I
yeah,
mean?
those are
like,
those are nice gloves.
Bro, $100 to $200, man. It's like stuff ain't cheap no more. I really do appreciate this.
But and that's the man. I mean, like I said, I know you appreciate it. I know you're going to show love. But companies like Super Rare that just do the extra mile. Retro Grappler, that is the baseball jersey that I'm wearing.
Man, I'm sorry I'm not rocking my tank top, but I've been wearing the freak out of my jersey.
I got the tank top on underneath
Hell
it.
yeah. I wear it to wrestling all the time. Like, I put that thing through the ringer.
Nah, it's not just his designs that are dope, but also they fit well.
Yeah.
They're for an athletic build. I really appreciate Retro. He's done so much for our merch and for our athletes. He's always hooking up guys with rash guards, designs, all kinds of stuff.
Yeah, man. And like, this goes out to Super Rare, Retro Grappler. I mean, if you guys have seen my work on Odd Socks and you guys think we can collab on something, I would love to do design work for any of you guys just for exposure, man.
Yeah, that'd be super dope. I'm gonna actually I'm gonna tap in with both of them.
Yeah.
I'm sure Retro will see this. I don't think Super Rare will, but I will hit them both up and try to make that happen.
I mean, trust me, man. I'm a beast on that Photoshop. All right, Adobe hate to see me coming.
Yeah, I see a lot. I see a lot of his work. Like I said, if you follow Odd Socks, he's their lead design guy. Are you the only design guy or the lead?
We finally got a great team. I am lead design. Okay. My design manager started at the same time. He's my superior, but like me and him, he lets me just cook.
Yeah.
And he just lets me cook. We have a great working relationship. He's also very talented himself. Okay,
maybe we get you to collab on the background of a Combat Night poster for one event.
Whatever you need.
Yeah, we'll do that. I'll hook you up with my boy Josh Hernandez. Bro, this guy is like the best low-key designer, period. Like, he's good. I'm telling you, he's ridiculous.
Wow.
But he does all of our posters. He does all of our poster work.
You guys have great posters.
Yeah, the posters are fire.
They're incredible.
But he does
easy stuff.
And he does it from scratch. You know what I mean? Yeah. Like he's building from the ground up. He's taught me so much. I'm able to get by and make stuff that I need now for Photoshop that I would be paying hundreds of dollars for.
Yeah.
That he has just taught me over the years. But I have to link you with him too. We'll do like a background for a poster or something.
Yeah, man.
I mean, that's, we're starting to wrap things up. We like to ask guys a couple of questions. Some of these are a little bit old. We'll have to come up with some new questions. But this one will never get old. Are you a fan of any conspiracies? Are you, what, if so, give me your top conspiracy that you think.
Man. Conspiracies. I definitely think aliens visited us in ancient times, and I definitely think they revisit us sometimes. But ancient theologies and stuff, I think it's all alien intervention.
So pyramids, you think aliens help with that?
I feel it. I feel like it's right. I feel like the people are making the hypothesis or the theories. I think they're right.
What Indian? You're Indian, right? Some native.
So my grandmother has a good percentage of Taino in her. She's Puerto Rican. Okay. She was, bless her soul, she was Puerto Rican. So I'm just to cool off some of these people. Bro, I'm 50% Latin American and English.
There's a lot of native Indian there though, because I'm 33% Guatemalan, and it's of indigenous Mayan descent. And my dad always told me I was Mayan growing up. I thought he was just yeah, sure, dad. And then when I did my DNA test, it had that on there. I'm
a flipping mutt, man. I'm a mutt all over the place. I'm indigenous to Mexico, South America, the Caribbean. I'm super indigenous. Even my Spanish heritage that came from my grandparents, even that's mixed with Northern African. So
okay.
I'm a little Egyptian. That's why I'm I believe in aliens a little bit. Yeah. But I'm Sephardic Jew. My last name's Spanish, but it's also Hebrew.
Okay.
So all three of my names are Hebrew for some reason.
Yeah, David.
Zebulon, Macias is they're all Hebrew. So, aliens are real. I'm a mutt. I got some Taino in there. I got some Incan in there.
Okay.
I'm super blessed. I love my heritage, to the core.
Yeah, you have a unique look, especially with the long hair. I bought the Native American thing. I would have thought you were 50%.
No, not 50.
You're a touch, a pinch of salt. You're just a pinch of.
You literally have to be 1/8 or 1/16, depending on the tribe.
Yeah.
My brother's Wampanoag from Massachusetts. But
Okay.
his tribe that they came from is from a sub island off of Martha's Vineyard. It's called Chappaquiddick. And like they didn't even get recognized because they were so small of a tribe. The main Wampanoags like didn't. They're like, you're kind of Wampanoag, you know.
Yeah.
But like there ain't no half Wampanoags anymore. I don't
Yeah.
think. Please don't shoot me down if I'm wrong.
No,
man.
I'm sure it's getting more and more mixed as it goes.
Yeah.
Some more questions we got for you real quick.
Mhm.
We've been doing 100 gorillas versus 1 men. I feel like that might be dead now though. White House, UFC White House event. Who is your nod for the main event?
White House main event. The issue is we have a bunch of guys who just fought. Like Dustin Poirier would have been great.
Mhm.
Oh man, I got it. Bang Benny's been all over this one, man. I mean, Sean Strickland's now suspended.
Yeah.
Because he let his ego get the better of him, man. That was crazy. Shoot, man. I'm going through the Rolodex and fighters in my head as we speak. I mean, do you have a championship fight?
I mean, right now they're all foreigners. No, there's no American champions right now. I don't believe.
Kayla's holding it down.
Kayla Harrison, you're right.
Yeah.
He's not Kayla Harrison.
Yeah.
I can't believe she makes 135. That is insane to me.
I do feel bad for her, man. It's hard. It's
Bro.
hard, man. She's probably cutting 25, 30
She
pounds.
makes me look like a child when I stand next to her.
Wow.
I'm not joking. Like, I really don't understand how she makes 135.
Yeah.
It has to be for a flash in the pan. They're rushing her because and it's not like she's fat or by any means. She's ripped. She's solid.
ripped.
She's like,
She's ripped.
she reminds me of a bigger version of Hannah Goldie because Hannah Goldie has a lot of muscle on her.
Yeah.
And she's just like a bigger version of Hannah
I
Goldie.
know.
It's crazy.
It is. It's
how
a
big she
lot,
is.
man. It's a lot. I have thoughts about that, but I won't not about her, but like about the whole weight cutting thing. That I have a little thing I think could work, but we'll have to see. But her getting down, I know it's harder for women.
Yeah, for
they
sure.
have bigger hormonal imbalances that happen when they're dieting or dehydrating.
Mhm.
And hats off to her. You know, she looked incredible. She finished my girl Pena up pretty easily.
Yeah,
but
very effortlessly.
Kind of expected. I'm so psyched for Amanda Nunes and Kayla if that does happen.
I love Amanda. I've known her for a long time, but man, Kayla is I'm just telling you, bro. She
Wow.
looks like a hammer.
True, man. I mean, so did Cyborg.
And so that would kill myself if we had women headlining.
I'm not saying they're gonna headline, but
Great. We got a comment from Ben saying that he would off himself if the women headlining the White House card. No, I think it has to be someone American. It has to be somebody. I mean, for me, I think it needs to be John Jones versus Tom Aspinall. I think that fight has to happen. And
does
what
John
better?
Jones deserve another fight, man?
You know what? It's not about John Jones. What do the fans deserve? I know Dana said no, he couldn't trust John Jones, but what do the fans deserve? The fans deserve that fight.
Do we have to go as fans of the sport and the art, man?
I don't want to see Conor McGregor as the main event. And I know he's pushing for that too.
No.
I mean, it's funny that he's got the two craziest guys on the roster pushing for the spot. But
what is Ben saying?
Yeah. That's what I think it's got to be that, man.
Bro, Tom, I don't think John can. I actually think, and this is not a hit on John Jones because he's effing incredible. His whole career, he's incredible. Even like some of the close fights near the end, but like I truly think he is aging out of the sport.
Yeah, I don't think he can beat Tom Aspinall. But you know what? We beat them when it mattered. Let them have this one at the White House.
Sail off in the sunset.
You win. You get it.
Find your peace.
No. I think Aspinall should send him off under the sunset. Like let them have this one.
But then we got an Englishman winning.
We won when it mattered.
That's true.
That's it. I mean, at the end of the day,
Juan said John Jones would definitely find the coke left at the White House.
there's no doubt John Jones would find the coke left at the White House.
Did you see that Hunter Biden interview?
Oh my God.
Bro, Andrew Callahan's a beast.
That's like all. I feel like he just confirmed all my conspiracies. Like he just like, okay, this was allowed.
Did you catch the part? Because I didn't finish yet. But did you catch the part where he was like, they made me out to be a criminal mastermind and a deadbeat son of a successful guy. And then the next sentence after he goes, oh yeah, I was the head of an NGO. I oversaw millions of dollars in aid to foreign countries.
Zero experience.
Bro, you he outed himself right there. He's like, the media made me look like a criminal mastermind. Oh, I also oversaw millions of dollars in NGL money, which probably didn't go anywhere.
Yeah.
Except people's pockets. Anyways, but that's funny. I mean, who else is on the roster? Like, I almost need to check to see who's up, you know? Like,
I don't know. I think if it's either John Jones and Tom Aspinall, and like Dana said, a lot can happen in a year. If a lot can happen in a year, maybe Marab decides to retire. Sugar Sean O'Malley beats somebody that matters, and we have O'Malley and Sanhagen main event.
I would love to see O'Malley could headline that because he's a star,
Mhm.
and he is exciting. I would.
Who's Sanhagen about to fight? He's about to fight some. Is he about to fight Marab?
Yeah, I think he's next up. I don't know. That's a tough fight.
Rami, can you pull that up for us?
I love Sanhagen's Rogan interview.
Yeah, I like Sanhagen a lot. I've trained with him back before he made it in the UFC. I trained with him once he got in the UFC. I've trained with a lot of these guys, man. They're really, that's the cool thing about our sport is that we get to go train with LeBron. You know, I trained with TJ Dillashaw whenever he was the LeBron in the sport, whenever he had just beat. I trained for him with the fight with John Lineker and the fight against Heenan Barao. I've also trained with Heenan Barao.
Wow.
So it's like, yeah, this is dope. I'm getting to stand in front of this guy. And you find out real quick when you're trying to be a fighter, like, do I really got it? Like, you know, am I getting finished by this guy in a round? Is he beating the shit out of me? Or am I able to move with this guy for 3 or 4 rounds and give him good work?
Right.
Yeah, he is fighting Marab. So
yeah, that
one's
one's
dope.
gone.
But yeah, it's like, you know, I haven't got this new generation of guys. It's like I'm fading out the guys that I got to train with, you know, like the TJ Dillashaws.
Bro, you're talking to like my upbringing right now. Like these are the fights I was watching, and my mom was like, "Turn that crap off," because she's like super religious, and I was like, "Okay." And then she walk out of the room, I snap it back. Like, bro, I was raised on that VHS tapes and Spike reruns. Like,
I was watching those live as they were happening. Like, that was like the
I didn't have that money. I did have that pay-per-view. What do we have a pound for pound roster list for the UFC? Because I could totally come up with something.
John Jones is probably at the top of that list. Yeah, John Jones is probably at the top of that list. But
I'm just so over it, man.
I get it, but man, Tom Aspinall deserves that fight to say if he gets a chance to beat John Jones, he can say he's the best in the world. I think there's a little asterisk there if he never fights him.
Really?
Yeah. Jones has beat everybody, man.
Dude, Jones is in the bag, bro. He's old.
Yeah. Well, I mean, let Tom Aspinall take him out back and put the bullet in him.
Tell me this.
Old Yeller.
First few exchanges, John Jones versus Cyril Gane. John Jones striking. Did you think, like, didn't he look kind of like a 40-year-old guy out there for a second?
I think he doesn't almost. I think the last like 4 or 5 fights he's had, he has very bad moments, and he is not. I mean, you look at the fight with all the way going back to Anderson Gustafsson. You look at the fight with Dominic Reyes. You look at the fight with.
Sorry to cut you off. I would love to see Pereira at the UFC.
Oh yeah, he need to be at the White House card for sure, but it can't be the main event. I'm sorry. I want to see 2 American, or if it's not 2 Americans, it's an American and a Brit. I think that's a dope.
I think you're right, man. It probably has to be John Jones.
Talk about the security detail. It has to go into that one. Chimaev is not fighting at the White House. I can promise you that much.
No.
Right, nah,
Bro, they're definitely. I love what the UFC is doing, so I'll never talk about it. But they're definitely covering up. Like, he was not allowed in the United States.
Yeah.
What about Topuria versus an American?
I like that.
Who do we got
Topuria
at 55?
I like Topuria versus. I mean, the Holloway rematch is going to happen before. You got to think years in advance.
Holloway.
You said that it could be foreigners and they fight for citizenship.
The golden ticket
Foreigner,
that Trump has.
It could be foreigners fighting
2 foreigners
for a green card is hilarious. I actually would not hate seeing Topuria and Holloway at 55 at the UFC event.
I think that's going to happen
at the
before.
White House event.
I think that'll happen before.
Because I'm telling you, man, Holloway is a different animal at 55. He hits way harder. He still has the speed.
And now he's big too. He's got some size behind him now. I think also Justin Gaethje needs to be on that card. I wouldn't mind seeing like.
Oh, I'm so glad you brought him up. All right, my 150 catch weight cut, it was pretty brutal. All right, we came into the saunas a little heavy.
Mm-hmm.
All right, because I was prioritizing being healthy and strong in camp over the weight cut, because I was like, I made 45, I can do 150 easy.
Mm-hmm.
All right, maybe I need to dial that back next time. I make pound 150.1, right? I floated like before I got to the scale
Wins.
where I had to strip bare ass butt naked. My boss Ahmad Akar calls me up on the phone from UFCX with Justin Gaethje, and I'm literally like, I'm a skeleton at this point, and I see Justin Gaethje, and I'm like, "What's up, Justin Gaethje?" Justin Gaethje literally called me. He was like, "Go put that weight back on. Go get a knockout." Da, 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 da.
That's dope.
And then I had to do it for Gaethje, man. Spinning back fist KO.
Yeah.
Next day, it was awesome.
No,
Yeah.
that was a wild finish.
I could see him at the UFC White House, BMF title maybe or something. I don't
Yeah.
know. Like we're just throwing
Yeah.
like cool belts out.
I want some dope Americans to go in there and throw down. More importantly, I want to be there. I got to figure out a way. That's
Meta
like newest
AI.
thing.
Look, Mitch put me onto the Meta AI. All right, he went to the UFC X event. Was that what it was?
Yeah, it was
He
dope.
did an amazing job. I got to see Volk cutting his hair, which is hilarious because Volk has no hair. Like, get Mitch at the White House. Okay, he's an amazing American. He's embodied. He was a cattle rancher as a 18-year-old. He bought property at 18, which is insane. He's an American, and he had. And can I just give you your flowers real quick?
What's that?
So this era of my life as a 28-year-old, I'm getting up there. My role models are good dads.
Okay.
They are wealthy a little bit. They provide for their family and they raise their kids right. They treat their wives like they're gold, like they're the most precious thing on earth. What you, Billy Q, and Matt Arroyo have been showing us as young fighters and how to lead a healthy life, how to treat your family. It makes me emotional because you're the John Jones in our eyes, I feel like. And for me, like you guys, I don't need anything crazy. I don't need a mansion. I want a house with a couple bedrooms, wide open floor plan, a nice backyard, and I want like a sauna or something in the back or something.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Maybe just lounge chairs. I don't need the sauna. And like and I want healthy kids and a healthy family body. That's what I want. And like I just give you flowers, man. Like that's the type of stuff we look up to. So Meta, like great family man, great American. Like let's work this out.
Well, I appreciate that, man. I didn't get started with kids till I think I was like 30. Yeah, I was 31, which is like great timing for me because I did plenty of dumb shit for a long time
Of course.
and lived my life and was very selfish.
Of course.
And then once I was ready to stop being selfish and give that time and energy to some kids, we had some kids. But having the role models to look up to is real important too. Because
everything.
My dad had two families. He had a secret family, and I just I didn't learn how to be a father from him.
Yeah.
He taught me how to be a hard worker. He taught me a lot of things about life. He did a lot of things for me. But as far as like being a good father or like being a good husband or any of these things, he didn't. But like I've been blessed and like surrounding myself with good men.
Yeah.
The Richard Coxes, the morals are so strong. The Ramsey Whites, the morals are so strong, and they're real. What's most important is that like they don't live these like fake lives online and then different in real life.
Yeah.
They're very transparent about who they are and what they believe in. And for me, that's like key is like having these role models. Some of them are like sponsors for Combat Night, like John Mancuso, good friends like Bill Carpenter. I'm surrounded by so many good people.
Wow.
When new people come around me and I end up making like a new friend, they're always like, man, how the hell do you have so many good people around you? Like Angel Marquez,
it's a skill, man.
Yeah, it's very hard to read people and like communicate effectively.
Skill.
But yeah, it's important that if you want to get to the top, you surround yourself with other people who want to get to the top and want to do it the right way. Because it only takes you putting yourself around one person, one slime ball that doesn't want to do things the right way, and you're affiliated with them, and now you go down with that too. So it's good to have good role model people to look at and like
Absolutely.
kind of follow that. That's dope, man. I really appreciate it.
Yeah, man. Like my grandfather had two families.
Oh yeah.
One in Ecuador, one in New York City, man. I probably shouldn't have said that. But no, but like, growing up without like that constant family nucleus, like we're at the end of the day, we're living organisms. Our job is to reproduce and fruitfully, and like doing it, there is a right way and there's a wrong way. And I just think what you guys represent is what we strive for.
I appreciate that. Yeah. I appreciate that. Well, man, we'll get out of here. Anyone you want to thank, sponsors, anyone you want to plug, your IG, when you're fighting next?
Pantero MMA. I release shirts every now and then. Stuff I design. Odd Socks. They fund my life, man. They were why I was able to buy a used Tesla and rock it like it's brand new. You know what I'm saying? My girlfriend Taylor, she's my rock, man. She's my why. My family, my brothers, all of them from both sides of the family, my aunts, my uncles, whatever. What else? I'm forgetting something. Yeah, but like my boys are all entrepreneurs. If you guys see one of my friends in there, follow with their business. You know, I got friends in solar, Matty Ice in solar. I got friends doing their own thing. Ali with fighter bodies. Fight Science Collective. Adam Snyder onboarded me a few years back, man. Like we became best friends and everything. He just took my data analysis and training and recovery to a whole new level. And he committed his whole life to his entrepreneurship, his company. And yeah, just follow us, man. We just started the pod today with them as well. So Fight Science is another one I want to shout out. There's so many people, like it takes a village, man. So if I forget anyone, I love you, but appreciate the opportunity.
Yeah, man. No, it was good talking with you, David. Have a good one, man. Oh yeah.
Are you ready for combat night?